Hope you're going well. Just gonna scroll back. You guys have been here a while. Billy, TS, Fred Chalmers, Vanessa, Jules. Hope you're all doing well. Fred, Sasha. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing really well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I was just gonna come on tonight and see what's happening. I've got another live over on my Instagram in a minute, and just talk to you guys about what happened today with this protest thing. So last night, during the week, we had different leaders from all the different groups chatting about the protests and whatever else. And right up till yesterday, it was all going ahead. And then out of the 8 groups that were there chatting, 7 of them or 6 of them initially said no, they weren't going to do it anymore. They didn't think it was a good idea. Now, the reasoning behind why they said it wasn't a good idea, and I've been to every single protest that's been on through this year. The reason that they decided not to go ahead with it is because Dan Andrews is making this big decision on Sunday, having this big talk or doing whatever he's doing with this roadmap. And the decision was made that to do this the day before and throw all our cards on the table was just a bad decision. And I still was of the opinion that we should all go out there and be out there. Woke up this morning and saw all the posts saying it was cancelled and sort of was forced into doing the same thing as well. And I personally probably will need to still go down there tomorrow anyway, because I am worried about families and other people that are going there still. My decision would have been still to keep on going with it. I sort of, when I put something out there, I still go anyway and keep being a part of it. It really depends on each individual. I always said this, and I said it during the week. If you want to go, go, and if you don't, don't. They've set up roadblocks. I drove in there today, and there was different bollards and stuff set up, but it's not set up like you can't get in there. So, if people want to go, I would still say go. Like, not a problem, just go. I was just pretty much having to toe the line with what everyone else put out there today. So it really depends on each and every individual. Yeah, and I think there are, as Sasha's saying, there are a lot of people still going. So, it's really interesting. And I think for me, it's 50-50. I'm like sort of stuck, and I was 100%, as I say, till yesterday when these people started putting it out to say not to go. And I think, there's been a few things that have come out of it today. I think that some of the groups talked to some political parties that are going to get involved when we do go out on the streets. There was very much a lot of different groups that were on different pages of what they wanted to do, but it was always going to be the 5th. And it was a bit surprising to me that the day before or the day before that, people said no. So, I sort of got stuck, as I said, between like saying that I wanted to be there and not. And, I still say to people, if you feel like it's where you want to be, go and be there. But it's really up to each other. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Sasha, about if we fall into their, if we go, and if we don't go, we're falling into their hands. But with the way these have all played out in the past, it's never been an opportunity for them to say their stage 4 is going to go on for 3 months or whatever else. And the worst thing that could possibly happen is people going, and then Dan Andrews on Wednesday or Thursday of next week saying everything's jumped up through the roof. And imagine if everyone went tomorrow and then within 4 days, Dan Andrews says there's 100 deaths and 3,000 cases, and everyone looks on the people that went to the protest and they decide they're never going to turn. At the moment, there's a tipping point where hundreds of thousands of people can turn towards the right side. If they hear Dan Andrews speak on Sunday and fuck up, if you sit there and you listen and he makes a mistake, you wake all the rest of the people up. And once you wake up the masses, when you wake up everyone, and this happened in Berlin, and this happened in the UK, where they had an opportunity to march, but there was an announcement about to be made, and they waited, and they stopped. And that announcement was ridiculous, and people saw the facts and the figures were wrong, and then the masses woke up. The masses woke up, and hundreds of thousands of people went out there and did it. So as I say, it's always up to each individual, and you guys can comment and say whatever you like because it doesn't really worry me. I myself have been at every single one of these, so if you've been there through the lockdowns at the towers, if you've been there through every single thing that's happened, you can comment and say whatever you want to say. But if you haven't been there through all that stuff, I don't really care what you guys say anymore. So you can do whatever you want. It's no skin off my back if you think someone's a shill or an informer or whatever you want to call out. I know my truth and I talk it all the time, and I've been there from the start. From back in March, I've been arrested and put in and everything else. So you can say and do whatever you like. That's not a problem. And in the end, it really is up to yourself. Yeah, and that's all right, Sasha. I'm not taking it as attack. It's just this Mr. Cheese or whatever his name is saying that someone's a shill or whatever else. I think you've got to be tactical and you've got to be strategic. And for me, I'm not always that way. For me, I would have just gone out. I would have just marched. I would have been there tomorrow, and I wouldn't have cared. So I think, Mr. Cheese, you have to think. You have to think. You have to be thoughtful about what you do. Because going out there tomorrow, when everyone already had started calling it off, if I left it open and let parents and families and kids go in there, and then they were outnumbered by the police at 2,000 to 1, then everyone would be arrested. It would go on mainstream media as these people doing the wrong thing, and then that would be the end of it, and we wouldn't have any more opportunity. You get one really big shot at this, and if you get it wrong and you don't go in the right numbers, you're gone, you're done. You don't get another shot because the main ones will get arrested, they'll get put on bail, they'll disappear. They won't be able to do these marches or go into the city or do anything like that. So rather than fucking it up, you let Dan Andrews make the mistake. The next step is him making the mistake. And when he does that, that's it. So you have to understand how you do this. You have to understand where you're coming from, and you have to understand what's going on. And if you don't understand, that's fine by me. I don't really care. So it's not really my problem if you don't understand, Mr. Cheese, and I don't really care. It's up to you. And so that's where it sits. So as I say, there's probably people still going in tomorrow because they get to make their decisions of what they want to do. I'll probably end up in there as well. There's no problem, but you need to have the numbers. So yeah, that's what it all comes down to. And I'm done with that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's right. There are people still going for sure, and I said that, but you may actually lose this. You may actually go there tomorrow in the lower numbers. The police will let whoever they want through the barricades, and then you'll have much less people there. You'll be outnumbered by the police, and when you're outnumbered by the police, they'll pick people off one by one, and then they'll report it in the news the way they want to report it. And the people at home that are already pro-mask and pro-everything will never step up, and you'll lose them for good. And you say, yes, we're going to take risks, but you take risks, calculated risks. So that's what it's all about. It's about calculated risks. So if you allow, I know it's about our future as well, but if you allow fear to make you go in too early and do the wrong thing, and you take, as I say, the barricades get set up and they let fewer people through than what you expect, and then the police outnumber them and pick them off and put it on TV, and then Andrews uses this for his numbers later on, and then they also use this to show how bad people are, and then all the rest that we're going to wake up don't wake up and stay asleep forever. You never get the numbers that you actually need. So it's actually worth the wait. And I'm not a person that would ever say that. I'm sitting here chomping at the bit because I want to be there. I want to be there, and I want to be protesting hard, and I want to stand up and speak to the people and say this is the way we do it. But you need to be awake to it, and that's what I say. So that's all I got to say about it. You can agree or disagree, and I don't care about that. Come from a really good place of peace and love and understanding, and I'll do that with you guys as well. And the ones that are pissed that I said put out that information from other people, they're okay to be pissed off as well. And as I said, I'll probably be there, and I'll probably get attacked by people. And making that decision this morning, I sat in bed. I was up till 4 o'clock last night. I sat in bed saying, do I do this or do I not? What do I have to do here? And and the person saying never wait for the enemy to make the first move, that's back the front, because they were already making moves. We started pushing back really hard, and then they pushed back as well. And you just got to keep on working out what's the best thing for you. And I trust my gut 100% of the time. So, take it or leave it, do whatever you want. I'm going to get out of here now. Peace.